I do not do drugs. I have never done drugs. And honestly, I never plan to do drugs. However, there was a point in the not so distant past where there were a lot of people that avidly believed that I was on drugs, specifically my time in high school. Now, in high school, I was a bit of a chaotic goofball. I did some weird stuff. So, my favorite comments were statements such as, "Why are you on drugs?" Or, "You should get off of drugs." Or, my favorite, "Why are you on drugs again?" And such is the lifestyle of a chaotic king in high school. But today, I want to talk about a very specific event that left a mark on my memory of high school. Now, this event took place during my sophomore year of high school. Now, in sophomore year, I had a classmate in my second period. For the purposes of the story, we'll call him Schmobley. Now, Schmobley will be important later. So, it was morning, believe it was a Tuesday. I went into school. I went specifically to my first period, which was chemistry. I was not learning how to make drugs, I was doing normal chemistry stuff, just to clarify. So, I was doing chemistry homework, probably talking about molds, and I completed the class and I went straight to my second period class after that. It's very important to remember I went straight to second period. Now, when I got there, I walked in and I looked and I remember seeing my teacher and my principal were talking. And I remember seeing that and thinking to myself, huh, that's not where principals usually are. Usually they're in the principal's office doing principal's things. So I thought it was weird and I took a seat. And I kid you not, like, the moment I sit down, I looked to see the principal. The principal looked back at me as if I had committed the most heinous, awful, cardinal sin by sitting down. And he strode towards me. He did not walk, he did not run. He had a straight up stride towards me. And when he got to me, he said, "I would like to talk to you in my office." I was like, okay. So I get up, we go to the hallway. I'm like, okay, this is not great, but I've never been to the principal's office, and I know I haven't done anything wrong, so I'm not really nervous. So we're going down there, it's normal small talk, and when we get there, I walk in, and I see there's a police officer there. But he's not just in the room, like sitting down waiting. He was in the corner stalking. He was waiting for me to enter so that he could simply pounce on me. So I'm sitting there. At that point, I'm a little nervous. Never been questioned by a police officer. So I sit down, and the first thing that happened was the principal said, "Can we search your bag?" Now, here's the thing. I know that I can say no to this question because they don't actually have the legal right to look through my things if I say no. So I'm just gonna say no because if I say no, the this whole thing will end sooner and it'll all be over a lot faster. And as I went to say no, I said yes instead because I was simply too nervous. So as principal searching through my bags, clearly judging me for the organizational level that I had in high school. I mean, you can look at the organizational level I had in high school. At the same time, the police officer's asking me questions. It's at this point he reveals, "We got an anonymous tip that you were doing drugs in the bathroom this morning." I told him, of course, no, I wasn't, because if you remember earlier, I said I went straight from first period to second period. There was no time frame for me to have been doing drugs in the bathroom. It wasn't possible. That couldn't have happened. And as I'm explaining that, and I could see the look in their face as soon as I said that couldn't have happened, like people can confirm that I was where I was supposed to be. I could see they already knew that. I'm fairly certain that they had already checked on my alibi before I gave it. So they probably already knew that I was innocent, but they felt like questioning me for free just because they could. Regardless, asking a few questions as I'm getting through and explaining, "Oh, that couldn't have happened. I have an alibi," and all that. he asked me this one last question that I'll remember forever because I remember the thinking the gall on this guy to ask me this question. He asked me, "Why are you nervous?" I'm like, "Gee, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities. I mean, it could be the police officer questioning me or being taken from class publicly. Now people think that I'm actually on drugs. See, that's not very helpful for my street cred." But of course, I didn't say any of that. I simply said, "No reason, sir," because wasn't he was right. I was in fact very nervous. So we'll go through this entire shebang of events. I'm very uncomfortable. They're searching me. The principal begrudgingly like just throws my stuff in the back. Worse organization than it was before. He made it a lot worse when he put it back in. And I just walk back to my class. I'll be honest, I was a little shaken up. This is the first time I encountered any type of event such as this. And as I got back to the classroom, I like sat down slowly and I was like, "Oh man, I got to go through my day, I guess." Got my notebook back out. And then Schmobley, you remember Schmobley? He came up to me and said, "Oi, where were you?" And I said, "I was in the principal's office. He wanted to talk to me about something." And he simply nodded and walked away. And I could tell by the look in his face, he didn't have to say it. He was the one that told them that I was on drugs in the bathroom. I don't know why he did that. I mean, maybe he thought that I was on drugs, and maybe if he said a random point in time, he could get lucky and catch me. Or maybe he just really hated me. I'll never know. And honestly, I don't care at this point. It's been like 3 years since then. I'll never know why. So it's whatever. I mean, I don't really have an ending to the story. The story kind of just abruptly ends there. I did file a complaint on the school administration because they obviously questioned me without putting the facts to see whether or not this anonymous report had any like merit to it, like at all. They also like just did it and didn't tell my family it was happening. I didn't know whether or not they were supposed to do that, but they didn't do that. Obviously, nothing came of the complaint. Just paperwork thrown into the void. But yeah, that's it. Uh, I still don't do drugs. Didn't do drugs then either. If you're watching this, Schmobley, good job. You inconvenienced me greatly. But yeah, that's it. You can go. Close the door on your way out.